And actually, so Paul, he's the webmaster, whatever. He was the guy who proposed to his girlfriend
on the ship.
On the ship.
He says to say hi and that he wishes he was here.
Oh, well, someone loved it.
That was so cute.
Yeah.
We were all like so great.
I wish I was there too.
Oh, so cool.
And actually, speaking of that, this is my girlfriend Lucy, who we met at a Narnia fans convention.
Oh, wow.
So you guys have kind of a role, at least both of you.
Maybe like silver chair or something. Maybe we never know.
Exactly. But anyway, enough personal stuff. I just wanted to ask you guys what your favorite part of this movie was, or the book, both, and why.
With my favorite book, I really love all the stuff in the book at the end with all kind of the sea of lilies and everything. I just think it's so gets you going, and it's kind of, you always know something's going to happen, so it's exciting, but it's also really sad. It really gets me going, actually. In the film, I love all the stuff on the boat because it's just a masterpiece. Like, it's a work of art, and I think people are going to have such a visual experience when they see it. But we love shooting on the boat. I love the way it looks on the boat. So yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I know. I literally echo what Georgie said. I think the boats, as the types of character in the film, it's such a beautiful kind of set and addition to the film as well. And the filming of it was so much fun. The chance to work on something like that was such a, you just felt so lucky.
It's a big deal, yeah.
That is awesome. Actually, and speaking of that, I was just going to ask Will, what it was like to join in with these three main characters that all worked together before. And,
yeah, of course. I mean, obviously, I was just saying it was a bit like sort of new boy at school, first day at school, new kid on the block kind of feel, and I was quite apprehensive and a bit. I suppose I felt quite nervous about going into kind of like a sort of already formed group of really good friends who've been with each other for a number of years and stuff. But these guys were so friendly, made me feel so welcome. We got like a house on fire and had so much fun. It just made it so much easier for me, and I really appreciated that. So yeah, that was cool.
That's great. And then I just have one for you, Georgie. How was maybe you didn't necessarily film the last scene of the book but the last scene you filmed, can you talk about your emotion like it's your last
It was a really big deal actually, because our last scene, because we did tons of stuff in first unit, and then the end of the film was just kind of wrapping up stuff on second unit. It was a real anticlimax actually, but like our last scene on first unit was Skander has this huge stunt at the end of the film which just looks great. It's like a Jack Sparrow moment almost. It's fantastic. And we were kind of filming the kind of mechanics of that, and I was just kind of looking at the ship. I didn't realise it was my last shot with first unit until Michael came up on the boat and started making this speech, and then I just started crying my eyes out. Michael had tears in his eyes, we were all just going crazy, and it was really weird because like everyone in wardrobe, everyone in makeup, they were all going to see me again for like the next 2 weeks, but they were still really upset. They felt like it's the end of something even though it's continuing. So yeah, it's crazy.
Kind of how we felt reading the last of the books.
Of course, yeah. Oh yeah.
That's awesome. Well, actually, speaking of the directors too, how was it? What are kind of the biggest differences working with the two directors?
Well, I think like you said, differences. They're both so different. Like everyone says who's better, but it's like you can't even compare them. Like, and also the first two films are so different to the Dawn Treader and just the filmmaking style and everything. So I think it's injected something really different into the franchise. Them as people are just completely different. Andrew's just so laid back and chilled, and also thinks about the bigger picture. It's always incorporating effects into how he thinks it's going to look and thinking about like kind of the camera, everything. Whereas Michael's just so dry, it's hilarious, so British, yeah. And you can just almost see that like he knows his job is the actors, and he understands that like camera guys do camera stuff, effects guys do effects stuff. He's like so centered on the actors, like with us the whole time and everything. So it's a different experience, but they're such great guys. We're so lucky.
Were there any initiation things they had to put you through, the first time?
We kept saying sorry all the time.
All
the time. We just kept literally just like sorry.
You know what? I was so
sweet.
My first scene, it was actually really weird. My first scene that I ever did with these guys was the audition scene that I'd done about a year prior with them. So my final audition for the part was with these guys, and it was going into the world of Narnia, and it was before. It was in actually Lucy's room in her house, and that's actually the first scene I ever shot with those guys. And of course the last scene in the film is going back into that room and saying goodbye. So it was quite a sort of strange day, and it was almost like we'd rehearsed that enough.
We'd rehearsed it so many times, and then I don't think we used you until like the last shot of the day or something. Like, cause, you know, there's always banter between Edmund and Lucy, and then Eustace comes in. It was just crazy to have him on set. It was like, you know, we'd never worked with him before. It was crazy.
This new guy, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I
Who's this guy?
loved
Get
it
him off.
though. Yeah.
You don't have to say that.
Well, I guess another question about the books. I read that Georgie's favorite book is Voyage to the Dawn.
Definitely, yeah.
I just wanted to know, I couldn't find like any information on like what your background with the books, you know, what's your favorite one, when did you read them, like were they, you know, important to you growing up, any of them
Yeah,
like
no,
that?
absolutely. Well, when I was a kid, I read Land of the Wardrobe loads, and I said it was one of my favourite books. And we were saying it's, as you know, it's kind of like a rite of passage in anyone's childhood. You just read the books. And just, exactly, yeah, absolutely. And I think lots of people are so happy to see that the books have been converted into films because they are so popular and they're just ingrained in sort of the culture of so many people. Obviously I read Voyage and Dawn a number of times character research, but it's by far my favourite book, and I think a lot of people say that just because, you know, and that's why people I think are excited about this film, because it is portraying their favourite book. There's new characters and there's new kind of creatures and stuff, and it's just exciting, I think. And it, as we said, it's more of a magic and adventure that we saw in the first film coming back, and in a completely new context as well of both stuff. So it's exciting, really cool.
Well, that is great. We're very excited. Cool. So I don't know if there's any I haven't asked here yet. Oh, I guess one, was like, I guess, what are some of the most significant themes in the movie or book, you know, like in your view?
I think the most significant theme is temptation. I think that's mainly because every character faces its own temptation. That's kind of about the main four, I guess you could say, like Caspian, Eustace, Edmund, Lucy. Everyone goes through their own temptation and also their own transformation as well, like how they overcome that temptation kind of causes them to have a transformation in their character. I mean, for Eustace it's kind of a physical transformation, but for the rest of us it's more like emotional transformation, kind of becoming even more mature or learning something you didn't know before. So,
and also subsequent to the battle, and sometimes, you know, faltering to temptation, there's also a theme of redemption as well, you know, and Georgie certainly experiences that, and Iskander obviously experiences that as well, and Eustace does certainly with the transformation of the dragon, and you know, it's just a very sort of influential theme in the film, which is sort of very important.
I think one of the really cool things about this film is that it actually takes a lot of the things from the book which aren't played upon a lot, like in the characters' arcs. For instance, like, you know, you do find out a little bit about Lucy's jealousy of her sister, but it's not really explained a lot. Whereas in the film, it's kind of the whole arc of my character, and it's really great to have something grittier to put my teeth into instead of always playing very sweet and very kind of all that.
Well, speaking of that, which Lucy version was your favorite one to play? Which of the three films?
I really did like playing her in Voyage to the Dawn Tread because she also got a lot more stunts, and I did like the idea of her kind of taking on a more action woman role. But then, I mean, she is sweet and naive, so of course I think everyone prefers her in Line Witch in the Wardrobe because she's cute. I mean, I was quite cute back then. So I think everyone, you know, so everyone, you know, then, I'm so embarrassed now. But so like, you know, I think that's kind of people's favourite film for Lucy, but because that's when they fell in love with her a bit. But I hope they like her.
I think most of your fans will disagree. I think we would say you're absolutely everybody's favorite.
Thank you.
Along the similar lines, Will, like, was it more fun to play the Eustace pre-dragon or Eustace post-dragon?
You know, I was so fed up of being such a brat on set the whole time. I love being like trying to play like a kind of nice-ish character, but it was really fun playing I mean, to be honest, I didn't get to play much of the transformation because a lot of that happens, you know, it's down to the special effects crew, and that happens during his time with the dragon, and Reaper almost kind of mentoring him, if you like, and sort of guiding him towards a kind of a better future for him and everyone else, I think. And that, you know, it's a shame I didn't get to play that, but I got to play the two sides of him afterwards. He was almost a different person after that transformation, and that was quite cool. I enjoyed that opportunity, you know, to play as a different dimensions to him. That was cool. you know, it was a really fun character to play. You know, as annoying as it was fun. It was really tough, but it was an amazing opportunity.
He is
really
hilarious in the film.
We can't wait. Boy, trust me. I'm sure.
Oh no, I'm a bit nervous.
Oh no. Well, how are you guys feeling as far as like, you know, it's going to hit this, you know, everybody's going to see it December 10th, you know, what's your feelings looking forward to that?
I was really nervous. Then I saw the film and it was the first time that I've walked out of a Narnia film and thought, because I've always been I'm always very critical of myself, but I came out of the Narnia of Dawn Treader and I actually had watched the film as a whole instead of just criticising my performance on the first time I watched it, which kind of, to me, makes it seem like it's such a visual experience. Like the colours, the effects, it's really.
It looks incredible.
Yeah, I mean, especially we haven't even seen it in 3D, but I'm very excited. Yeah.
It's so right in 3D as well. There's so many, especially with all the creatures and just the sort of sorcery of it and all the kind of, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but when you see it, just all the magic of it is just going to come alive.
And I love the comedy aspect of it as well, because we've never had we've never really tried much with comedy. We've kind of had a few jokes every now and again, but I mean, this guy, so funny, literally. And there's plenty of comedy from from nearly all the characters. So yeah, it's good.
That is fantastic. We can't wait.
Thanks so much.
Give us a high five.
Why not?
There we go.
Thank you so
So
much.
good to meet you, and it's really nice to talk to someone who's really passionate about
Oh,
it as well.
yeah,
Like, you know.
my favorite book too.
Oh,
I think it's
so
gonna be a great movie. So looking
Thanks
forward.
so much. It's been the best interview we've had so far.
Yeah,
It was
it's
good
been
fun.
really great.
Really
Thank
enjoyed
you.
it.
You guys
Thanks
too.
so much.
Thank you.
Nice
as well.
meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
So beautiful. I love your hair. So nice. Thank you. Okay, great. Thank
Thanks
you.
so
Really
much.
nice to
See
meet
you
you.
guys.
See
Cheers.
you around.
Are we going now?